Welcome to Ghired Conclave Exile. And as far as our opening hand goes, yeah, I like this, but man, if we don't hit a second, third land, this is not that fun. Yes, we will keep on this one. We got Guy's Cradle, Crag, Rootbound. Yes, I like this. We'll definitely keep on this one in a heartbeat. We do need to put one card on the bottom, and I think at this point, oh, this is a tough one. We can probably put Rootbound Crag, I guess. I mean, we're pretty far away from Guy's Cradle, but I do want to hold on to it. Worldly Tutor really keeps us up. Yeah, I kind of want to keep this Planeswalker going. So let's put Worldly Tutor on the bottom. All right, we're going to click OK. And then we're actually on the play. So we'll go and lead off with Arid Mesa. And then we'll see exactly what we end up grabbing off this Arid Mesa. Definitely want to end up grabbing a white source. We do have Command Tower, though, so we'll be okay. But let's get Dread pop back up. And then once we see if there we go, opponent does want to keep on that one. Let's have Arid Mesa come down, and then anything else, pass it over our opponent. We're playing Ghired Conclave Exile. Whenever Ghired enters the battlefield, create a 4/4 green rhino create a 4/4 green rhino creature token with trample. And we've got Deathrite Ramen coming down. Let's go ahead and crack Arid Mesa. And I think at this point, we might end up just grabbing probably Sheltered Thicket. That way it'll just come into play tapped. We do need to actually kind of start working towards our double white. So let's just grab Scattered Groves. Yeah, because we can have Scattered Groves enter the battlefield. That allows us to go for Root Bound, and then next turn we can go for Rampant Growth. And that'll allow us to get a little bit ahead on mana to kind of keep up with that Deathrite Shaman. So that'll be pretty good. Let's have, yeah, and we draw into Sarah. Okay, this is pretty good. I wanted this to be a little bit more of a heavier Planeswalker game. That's why I kind of wanted to hold on to Hutali. I think that's how you say it. Hutley. Wanted to hold on to the Warrior Poet. Let's put it that way. All right, so we've got Guy's Cradle. That's going to be an extra white. We do have triple white, but I don't know if we need to burn that on white right now. So let's just grab a forest at this point. I think that'll help out. That'll come into play tapped, and then we'll pass the turn over to our opponent. Playing against Niv Mizzet, I think, did we cover the last part? If we didn't, whenever Ghired attacks populate, the token enters the battlefield tapped and attacking. Playing against Niv Mizzet Reborn. Whenever Niv enters the battlefield, reveal the top 10 cards of your library. Opponents got their own Rampant Growth. For each color pair, choose a card that's exactly one of those colors from among them. Put the chosen cards into your hand, then the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So, and let's see. So we do have at least Sarah if we want to go for that. So we have Command Tower coming down. Yeah, we might as well. If we just create an angel token and then we start going +1/+1, yeah, that'd be pretty good. I like that. Let's go white and then 1/2. One of the cool things about this deck is, yeah, we're gonna go -3. Is this deck is kind of definitely a little bit more of kind of a control style build of Ghired. We've got a lot of good value spells in here to where once we get to the late game, we have multiple Planeswalkers on the battlefield. We have a lot of mana going. We can use Ghired as kind of like a late game closer, or we can just use it as a way to kind of, let's say we get Ghired down and it attacks. We're going to be able to populate that a token that's attacking. So that's going to be pretty nice. Baleful Strix, okay. That's definitely going to slow our roll a little bit. But what we can do is we can go for the +2, and that'll still allow us to kind of get ahead on, if they want to swing in with Baleful Strix, that's fine. We can basically still get ahead and create an angel token at some point during the game. Now, we are staring down a Niv Mizzet pretty quick. Just want to give y'all a heads up. Let's go for the +2. That's going to make everybody have 5/5. We can finally go for Guy's Cradle, because that will end up tapping down. And I think I kind of like doing this. So we go, yeah, let's have this come down. Because that really forces our opponent to, so we can go for the -3. So we're going to do 2 and then 1. Yeah, getting a nice little 2-for-1 off of that. That'll be pretty good. Oh, look at that. It's going to swing in for a 5/5. Clear the way. It's going to knock them down to 21, and that's basically going to put them on a just Niv Mizzet or bust kind of game plan, and I kind of like this going forward. So we can actually end up going for the -3 if we want to, but probably might end up going for Ghired. We'll see what they end up going for with Niv, if they end up going Niv Mizzet or they get something else out on the battlefield. With Tormenting Voice, we do need to get an extra card draw. That way we kind of dig a little bit deeper into our library. But, oh yeah, so we did cover both commanders. Give a quick shout out to our sponsors, MTGOTraders. If you want to ride a Rhino, head over to MTGOTraders. It's a digital Rhino, so you can't physically ride on it, but you'll still have fun. You can tell all your friends about it, and they're going to question, what are you talking about? But hey, it doesn't matter. You get to ride on a digital Rhino. So head over to MTGOTraders. Also, as a quick shout out to inkgaming.com. Use coupon code JOLT to get 10% off anything off your order off the website to help support the channel. So if you're looking for, let's say you're in the market for a Rhino playmat, I'm sure there's one over there. Hey, go check it out. And last but not least, I started a Patreon. So if you'd like to contribute to the Patreon, there's a link down in the description below. I get your name in the credits. Or if you can't support the channel, hey, no problem. Just tell somebody about the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. So now it's officially free time. Let's have some fun. So we rip into Harmonize, which is pretty good. Let's get a quick look at what they revealed. So let's get these lands crossed off. And there we go. So this can be Ingrass Rampage, Dax Duplicate again, Dovin's Veto, and then Ionize. So I'm not really super wild about that Dax Duplicate. If we end up going +1, that's going to be plus flying. We can go Ghired. Yeah, I think what we need to do is we need to start getting a few more creatures on the battlefield. And I think that'll be good. So let's have that. We're going to have Ghired enter the battlefield. Because once we have this, we're going to get that Rhino token. And that's really going to make this guy's Cradle be really good. And just so we're not having to have some weird sort of chump block, let's just go for the -3 to get an Angel token and then pass the turn to our opponent. So now we have the guy's Cradle tapping down for 4, which is going to be very nice. We have March of the Multitudes, which will definitely kind of amplify that guy's Cradle. You know, simply next turn, we can just tap down Guy's Cradle to go for Harmonize, which is going to be 3 draws, which would be pretty nice. So we'll end up going for that. We'll see what they end up going for with Dax Duplicate. I mean, Ghired would probably be a pretty good option because that's going to tag along, and it does have haste, so they're going to be able to get double Rhinos. So definitely, I would go for the same line of play because they're going to be able to get an extra Rhino on the battlefield. So we've got ourselves a little bit of a battle right now. Just goes to show you how good Dax Duplicate can be. The fact that you're going to get a clone effect and it has haste, that is very, very... Or just scenarios like this where you can have Dax Duplicate... Yeah, you can have it enter the battlefield as a copy of Niv Mizzet, which is just bonkers sometimes. So, all right, so we got Dread swinging in. That's going to be dethroned. That's going to be a 3/6. And we've got ourselves an extra Rhino that's tapped and attacking on the battlefield. So that's going to be 9. That's going to be 13 damage. I think we can take this. That's going to be fine because we do have March of the Multitudes to eventually start working towards to get a few extra tokens on the battlefield. And if we don't want to go for Harmonize, well, let me put it this way. So they've got Dovin's Veto, which they don't have the mana for Dovin's Veto. So if we want this March of Multitudes to stick, we almost need to go for it right now. Because that life gain does make a matter, does make a difference in the world of, no, these Rhinos do have trample. So is that what we want to end up going for? Okay, let's go Temple of Abandon, because that is our land drop for the turn. Let's go a little Scry, a little Scurry. We'll definitely put that on the bottom, because that's not really doing much at this point right now. Yeah, I think we just rip a straight up, just rip a March of the Multitudes. Yeah, because we end up, yeah, let's go ahead and go for that, because that's going to be white. Let's tap down on white. We'll tap down on green. And so X is currently 1. If we tap out the entire crew, because I think we need to leave a few flyers in the air. We can actually, well, I kind of like trading with some of these Rhinos. Yeah, no, this is fine. We'll gain a little bit extra life. We'll pay 1. And this can be 1, 2, 3, 4. X is going to be 7. Yeah, I kind of like that. All right, we're going to click OK. All right, so we're going to create 7 lifelink tokens, and then anything else is passed back over to our opponent. Main reason we're doing this now is because our opponent does have Ionize, and they do have Dovin's Veto, and they do have Ingrass Rampage. So we just want to make sure to where if they're going to go for either one of those, they wear shields down for us to get this to stick, because we can gain a little bit of life. It does hurt that it is trample damage, but that incremental life gain does make a difference. And now we're looking at a Guy's Cradle that's going to tap down for 3, 10. It's going to tap down for 11 mana. So that's going to be a very nice chunk of mana, so especially if we end up going for Harmonize. So opponent's going to go for Teferi. Let's get this popped down just a little bit, move that over there. They're going to go for a card draw with Teferi. And -3 target non-land permanent. Okay, so we do have a definitely a little bit of a clock on our opponent's side of the battlefield. Once again, they're going to have these Rhino tokens coming in, so that's not going to be good for us. 1, 2. Oh, and they opt not to swing in, so I'll take that. That sounds pretty good. They're going to untap 2 lands, and that's going to, let's see what they untap, because we do know that we need to play around Dovin's Veto and Ionize. So if we want to kind of just go for a quick little card or something like that. All right, so Thran Dynamo. Let's do this. Let's tap down Guy's Cradle. Let's go Tormenting Voice. And we're going to discard Thran Dynamo. So if they want to counter this one, they certainly can. All right, so we hit Aura Shards, which is actually not that good right now. Okay. So we can Temple of Triumph and get a little bit of extra Scry and Scurry going. So let's do that. Hopefully there's some Fumigate. I think that'd be a pretty good option. Yeah, because that's going to be some really nice life gains. So let's put Fumigate on top of our libraries. Go for Harmonize. And we'll see if they want to counter. If they counter this, hey, so be it. And we get one of the cards out of their hand. There we go. All right, so we rip into Fumigate. Do you want to end up going for Xenagos? They have no artifacts over there. I think that'll be good. Yeah, so let's go Xenagos. Because this is still going to allow us to keep the tokens going, which is going to be really good for us. So we'll have Xenagos come down. And eventually they're going to get rid of one of these cards out of their hand, which we're going to be okay with. All right, so let's go for the... Oh, we can just keep adding mana to the mana pool. That is just nutty. All right, so that's going to be a +1. Yeah, let's just do that. All right, so let's go and plus up on this. Well, actually, we create a Satyr. I think that... No, we want to start working toward that ultimate because we want our opponent to kind of shuffle around. Let's go double red. Let's go green. All right, so we've got a very good chunk of mana. Let's have Aura Shards come down. And then anything else. We're just going to go ahead and hold on to this Fumigate. And then next turn, we can try to sequence that Xenagos a little bit better. One thing that we could have done is, if we held on to Xenagos a little bit better, now that I'm seeing this line of play, is that what we could have done is basically just got down Xenagos. Well, we had Guy's Cradle tapped down. We could have waited until the second main phase and gone for the +1 ability. And what that would have done is allowed us to get a little bit of extra mana. And what? Terminate just happened on one of our angel tokens. So, yeah, had we done that, we could have swung in with a Ghired, and, whatever ends up happening to Ghired, that's okay. And then we could have recast it with Xenagos, and we would have got an extra Rhino token on the battlefield and gotten a Populate token. So, not necessarily, well, it could be a misplay, just more of a sequencing error on my part. I would kind of put it at that. So, now with Teferi. Teferi is sitting there at a 6, so we do need to... watch out for that. That's not going to be pretty good. If they get to that ultimate, that's going to be the bad news for us. So we don't want that to happen. So let's see what they're tapping out for right now. That's going to be Kaya. So we've got all the mana in the world. The thing that we need to really hit right now is going to be some sort of... If we hit Wheel of Fortune, my goodness, that would that'd be very, very nice. All right, so our opponent does end up going Kaya. They're going to get rid of our token, which is going to free the way for that Niv Mizzet to swing in. They've really dealt with both of those. So let's see what they decide. All right, so no swing in from our opponent. And there's still nothing that we can go for with Aura Shards at this point right now. So Angrass Rampage, Dovin's Veto, and Ionize are still online for our opponent. So let's see what we draw into Wooded Foothills. Okay, so let's go with that line of play that I was telling you about. Let's go and push in with a Ghired. I think what we want to do is we just want to attack our opponent, I think. Yeah, let's do that. I mean, well, we could attack Teferi because that's going to force them to get some sort of blocks going out of there. Yeah, let's do that. All right, we're going to swing him Ghired. We're going to get a Rhino token that's tapped and attacking. Still have that coming in at Teferi because, yeah, if they get to that ultimate, that is just not going to be good for us. You may destroy... no, not going to use that ability. All right, so we've got at least 6 coming across at Teferi. 4, that's going to be trample damage. So, we might just see a Rhino on that one. Either way, we're going to be able to cash in some extra tokens potentially. All right, so we're going to see the Rhino block on Ghired. And then we know that they have that in Fumigate. And they're going to have a free shot at Xenagos. I think at this point, what we'll probably end up doing is just going for the Satyr token. And then click OK on Aura Shards. I'm going to click OK. Oh, I did not mean to do that. All right, so we're going to have Wooded Foothills. Dang it, that was a major misclick. All right, then we're going to pass the turn to our opponent. That was a bummer. Did not mean to do that. And that's one of those things that your opponent's sitting there just like, what's happening? Everything going okay there, partner? It's did not mean to pop that Aura Shards. All right, that's going to be Teferi. That's going to be the +1. And they're still, yeah, we're just getting picked apart by Kai at this point right now. My goodness, yeah, she is so good against tokens. All right, so we're going to see extra Kaya come down. So let's see if they end up going for the. They're going to exile our Satyr token with a 0 building. Yeah, that's fine. And so we can still go for the Satyr next turn. But we'll see if we're finally going to get Niv Mizzet to swing in or not. Or if Niv Mizzet is going to hold back on blocking duty. All right, so they will swing in at Xenagos. That's going to get rid of Xenagos. Yeah, we need to hit some sort of card draw in a very, very bad way. Because that'll really open us up. Now, we did lose a lot of mana to Xenagos, but, I mean, hey, it's one of those things we can't protect it with Niv on the battlefield. And so we'll see what we rip into, but something like Camaraderie or just something that's... Oh, my goodness, this is... Whew, this is... keeping score at home, this is not looking so hot at this point right now, so... See what we draw into, because even if we hit Fumigate, we're not going to be able to stop the onslaught that is a ton of Planeswalkers. So, okay, so let's try and drag that Ionize out of our opponent's hand. Let's make the land drop for the turn. Let's go Guy's Cradle. So let's go Fumigate, because we really want Elspeth to stick around. Actually, let's do it this way. Let's go Elspeth first. Yeah, I like this. Let's go Elspeth first. Let's see if that's going to get rid of one of these cards, and then we can hopefully still follow it up with Fumigate. Okay, so I'm going to go Counter Squall, and that should cut them off. No, they still have... Oh, and they still got Dovin's Veto. Oh, that is a bummer. Okay, let's give it a shot. We know it's in their hand. Oh, that's a bummer. Yeah, because either way, we're just almost going to need them to do this. So let's go and crack Bloodstained Mire. And we're going to grab ourselves another white source, because that way it just kind of puts us into this top deck mode. But at least we're not having... Because if we don't get that last one out of their hand, it's not going to help us out. So we're going to go Fumigate. They might want this Fumigate. I mean, that's going to clear the board for them. They can hit the reset button with Niv Mizzet. We're going to gain some life, which kind of does help us out. All right, so they do allow that to go on through. Let's go and crack Wooded Foothills. One of the things that we could have... I wasn't expecting that one to resolve, so we could have swung in first. But let's grab another white source. We'll go and grab a Temple Garden. Have that come to play tap, then we're going to go ahead and pass the turn. But yeah, the main reason for going for that Fumigate is expecting them to go for Dovin's Veto. But with us hitting the reset button, that does allow us to kind of gain some life, get a little bit of extra... life gain to hopefully try to stabilize, and then maybe get lucky and get some card draw. But at this point right now, the advantage of the game is definitely going towards our opponent, because yeah, it's just going to be hard to get anything done. They're going to have the Niv Mizzet. They can re-get that, and they're going to get a lot of cards too with that enter the battlefield trigger. Just kind of basically a last-ditch effort to try to generate some sort of value to maybe where we can win. Because the Guy's Cradle's cut off now, and we've got Ghired that we can still cast. But with Teferi staring down the ultimate, yeah, it's just either way, it's not looking so hot for us. So we'll see what we draw into for next turn, but it looks like our opponent's going to get it on this one. We tried to live the dream. You know, we did get Sarah down. We got some Angels going. Hatali was another. We got a good 2-for-1 off of that. But when you're playing against Niv Mizzet, it is so hard sometimes to stop Niv Mizzet, especially when you've got kind of like a 5-color build that's really heavy control built. With Terminate and you just have an answer for everything, and especially if you're just going, just that top part of their library. Yeah, we're going to let them... we'll see what we draw into, but with that Dovin's Danny DeVito, with that Danny DeVito over there, they're going to be able to stop whatever we've got. So we'll see what we draw into for the turn. And oh yeah, they even hit a Hydro Crisis. So all right, so we run into Taiga Uppercut, and they're going to get it on this one. So good game to our opponent. we're going to scoop this bad boy up. We've got Dread coming down, but at the same time, we've got Teferi Ultimate over there, and it's just a matter of time before they take over, especially with Hydroid Krasis. Yeah, because if they go for the Ultimate, whenever you draw a card, so they Ultimate, and then they go for Hydroid Krasis, and then that is just pretty much everything on our side of the battlefield. So, if you enjoyed the video, hey, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to Yorvo Hammer Time. As far as our opening hand goes, yes, I like it. We've got Lana War Elves, we have Heritage Druid, and we've got Thunderfoot Baloth, which is just, I don't know, I love Thunderfoot Baloth. It's one of my favorite cards in Commander. And we're playing against Anje Falconwrath. Oh, I can't remember how to say it. Anje. I always want to think of Anyan from Arrested Development. I can't remember how to say it. So we're going to call her, him or her, Anje for the video. But that may not be right. So let's go and lead off with Lana War Elves. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn over to our opponent. So we're playing Yorvo. Mr. Hammer Time himself. Yorvo is going to enter the battlefield with 4+1 counters on it. Then, whenever another green creature enters the battlefield, put a +1 counter on Yorvo. If that creature's power is greater than Yorvo's, put another +1 counter on Yorvo. And then our opponent just said, good luck, have fun in the chat. And I almost just typed you in the exclamation point. I meant to say you too. And so I just love the fact of, I don't know why. I'm just like, you, it's you. Anyway, good luck to our opponent. If they are a friend of the channel, hopefully we have a good video today. So we can end up going for Yorvo, and I think that's going to be a pretty good way to put some pressure on our opponent. I mean, because we've got creatures to dump after that, so that sounds like a pretty good plan. So we're going to tap down Lana World, 7 Mr. Yorvo, enter the battlefield. It's official. If you're keeping score at home, it's hammer time. We're going to be swinging him across next turn, and with Thunderfoot Baloth, this is going to be a wonderful way for us to get some pretty good trample damage. So let me turn my music down there we go. Had some music going on in my headphones, and it's kind of ambient music, and then sometimes you run into a couple different songs that are just a little bit louder than what you're normally listening to, and so it's kind of a little bit distracting when you're trying to give commentary. All right, so we're going to be able to start swinging in for 4. This is exactly what this deck wants to do. Let's get some good +1 counters going on Yorvo. So let's go for Heritage Druid. We're going to have Heritage Druid enter the battlefield, and we could have added, I guess, a little bit of extra mana instead of tapping down Lana War Elves. I guess we'll kind of see. But either way, just getting it to 6/6 will end up working out. So we're going to get that Fierce Empath. Let's search our library. Since we do have Thunderfoot Baloth in our hand, pretty much the only option is going to be Crater Hoof, which is a nice thing to see. We're going to get an extra counter on Yorvo. And then let's go and push in. We maybe could have sequenced that turn just a little bit differently with Thran Dynamo, but either way, I still like swinging in with the 6/6, so that was pretty good to kind of get the board going. Then also next turn, we're going to be able to tap down Heritage Druid, Fierce Empath, Lana War Elves, and at least tap that down for 3 mana and go for Thunderfoot Baloth, which will kind of pump up on Yorvo. And even though technically Thunderfoot, we'll kind of see how state-based effects, we might be able to cash in an extra +1 counter on Yorvo once it enters the battlefield, and then once we get that power and toughness better. So the only thing that we are watching out for right now would be like Toxic Deluge or Damnation or something like that. That's definitely something we don't want to see. Wouldn't be that good. So if we can start swarming the board, I would certainly like that. So with that Fiery Temper, I think that's just 3 damage. And with Yorvo sitting at a 6/6, we're in a pretty good spot to kind of dodge that 3 damage. We did cover both commanders. Let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors, MTGOTraders. If you're going to give a try at swinging Yorvo's hammer, head on over to MTGOTraders. We've got it set up, so if you want to smash some stuff, maybe you want to smash Scavenging Ooze, you want to smash Rest in Peace, whatever that may be, go on over there. They've got the hammer set up for you to smash whatever your heart's desire, whatever card you hate in Commander. There you go. Let's go for the 4s for the turn. We're just simply looking at a 1/3. And we've got only 2 elves on the battlefield, so we can only actually tap out for 4 mana. So if we end up going for Nayela, yeah, I think I kind of like that. It's going to give us trample. She's not going to be an elf, but just want to be kind of aggressive on this one. This is a mono green stompy deck, and so once we get down Nayela, that's going to allow us to give all of our creatures trample. We can swing in the Druid and the Fierce Empath with 1/1s, but I think we'll probably hold off on that one. So we're going to get an extra counter on Yorvo. That's going to give us trample, which is a very important thing for this deck. So let's go and push in for a 7/7. There we go, coming across for 7, and then I don't think there's anything else we're going to pass the turn. But yes, also, quick shout out to inkgaming.com. If you head on over there, type in Jolt539 to see some of my merch booth. I've got some playmats and t-shirts, or just use coupon code JOLT for 10% off anything off the website. So if you have not treated yourself in a long time, make sure you treat yourself. And last but not least, I started a Patreon. So if you'd like to contribute to the Patreon to support cool content like this, there's a link down in the description below. You can get your name at the beginning or the ending of the credits, or both. And if you can't do that, hey, no problem. Just tell somebody about the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. So, it is officially free time. Let's have some fun. Now, as far as this build of Yorvo, this originally started off as an Enchantress build. And, I was thinking, one of the best things for Yorvo is just to put Rancor on Yorvo, and that's going to give it +2 and then Trample, and then you just start casting a bunch of creatures. Like, well, that's awesome. And so, trying to take it into an Enchantress build, I was like, well, we can put a lot of Voltron, and when I threw it together, I just realized it just didn't have that creature count that you're really looking for in a deck like this to really get those +1 counters going. And so once I had like the Lana War Elves, I had Elvish Mystic in here, I had all the elves like the Mana Dorks in here. I was like, well, if we just make this kind of pseudo elf tribal in a way, we have a lot of elves in here. There's a lot of different. There's like a 3-mana elf that taps down where we can give target creature +X for the number of elves on the battlefield, and so it's just kind of really nice overlapping synergy in that we can get a lot of these elves down. That's going to allow us to ramp really quick. That's going to allow us to power out Yorvo, and it's also going to allow us to pump up Yorvo. Because we are running Cloudstone Curio in here, and so being able to cast a couple different Mana Dorks and keep bringing those back to our hand. Hey, it's a pretty good feeling right there. So let's go Yavimaya Hollow for the turn. We're still missing out on that third elf because they did pop that Lana War Elf. So at this point, that's going to be 6 mana. We can leave up Nayela to go for that +2/+2, but I think if we really want to try to close this one out, we need to get some mana on the battlefield. So let's go 1, 2, 3. We're going to have Thrain Dynamo enter the battlefield. That's going to be 4 total mana, which actually is going to work out really perfectly with this Nayela +1 activation. So, but we will still end up swinging with Nayela because it is a 6/6 indestructible. So if we can get them to trade with the Bloodhall Priest, we'll certainly take that. And we'll at least be able to swing it with the 7/7. At the very least, we'll be able to pump up Yorvo with that activated ability. So let's go and push across with the crew on this one. Not going to be swinging in with the little elves over there. They're a little bit more of the support crew on this one. So we're going to be swinging in with 7/7 Yorvo with Trample and then a Nayela. One of the things with Yorvo is it is very easy to get hung up on the, I need to have, a mana curve that has a lot of power and toughness in there. Just getting creatures on the battlefield, just getting those bodies down and getting those +1 counters going is pretty good ability, and it ends up working out pretty well. So let's go for the Nayela activation. We're going to have Yorvo get +2/+2 until end of turn. That's going to be 9/9 coming around. I think that's going to be commander damage right there. Yeah, there we go, 22. The hammer smash. All right, so recording with Yorvo, you kind of end up with these weird games sometimes. So I'll at least be splicing some of these together. And if you enjoyed the video, hey, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.